Alright, guys. Welcome to the Nylea show. That's just what I'm going to call it for now because I haven't found. I have a name for this new era of channel that I'm going to be evolving into, but I don't have it in, like, right now. I don't have it at hand, so I'm just going to call it the Nylea show, but that's not what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about how to let go. And hold on, let me give an intro because I haven't given you guys an intro and you deserve an intro. So, I've been wanting to start videos, where I give, tips, because I don't know, in my journey, like, I've been watching a lot of videos, people giving tips, and I've been like collecting context clues from everybody and getting all this information and trying to put the pieces together so that I can get exactly the construct and dissect the biology of trauma itself. And I wanted to break it down in a simple way for people to understand so that they can move in a much easier way, if that makes sense. If that's even possible, I don't know. But this is what I want to do. I'm going to do it. And today the topic is how to get out of a toxic relationship or attract a better relationship into your life. So first things first, I know this, hold up. It's because I'm kind of nervous right now. So this is new to me. But this is important and it must be said. The first step, well, not the first step, but one of the steps that I know you're going to have to make is self-validation. And you know what? This one is actually, I didn't learn it, but I heard it like 2-3 years ago from Ralph Smart, but I never fully applied it until now. And I'm still applying it. It's a journey. It's not just, you just get there. But he was saying basically how to be happy alone, because I wanted to know that, and it turns out you value yourself more than others value you, and you know what, I'm gonna make a video on narcissism too, but not today, maybe tomorrow, because I was thinking about that today. I think about a lot of shit all day, and I'm just like, dude, I really want to express this. But anyways, yeah, so self-validation. A lot of times in toxic relationships, at least from my experience, you're going to encounter that your feelings are not taken into consideration, and it's like you're talking to a wall. And as annoying and as frustrating as it is, and as easy it is to blame it on the other person, and you will end up blaming it on the other person, like I've blamed it on the other person, shit, I still blame it on the other person to this day. As long as you're seeking validation from others and not inside of yourself, you're already blaming the other person for why you can't be okay. And it's much easier said than done, but it's still information, and I think it's nice to share information, share knowledge. Why not? I mean, shit, if somebody can apply it better than I can at a faster rate, if somebody needs to hear this, well, why not? Why not share it? So that's one of those. And the way I want to share this message is by showing you what it's trying to teach you so that you can release resistance to the circumstance itself. Because as you can see, it's not really, it's the circumstance, like it's irritating, it's frustrating, or it's even painful. Like you just start beating yourself up because you're doubting your feelings, and then you feel shame because you listen to their feelings instead of yours, and then you have resentment, and then towards them, and then you don't tell them anything, and then later on you burst, and then they're like, what the fuck? And you're like, well, yeah, it's just a big old mess right there. It's just a big old mess. And how you're gonna prevent that mess from happening, if at all, is to know yourself. How do you know yourself? Your feelings. You're gonna start validating your feelings, and that's super hard because it doesn't have to be, but it can be, especially if you were if you're used to people not noticing you, if you felt invisible your whole life, or you never really had someone to talk to about your feelings, or if you did talk about your feelings, nobody gave a shit, then yeah, it's gonna be kind of hard to put the puzzle pieces back together, but it's not impossible. And with determination and with hope and with faith, I'm pretty sure you can get there, because I've gotten somewhere, and I never thought I would get here, and I never thought I'd be making this video, but here I am today by the grace of God. So that's one of the steps. Another one of the steps to get out of a toxic relationship or attract a better one is obviously, well, hold on. Okay. Based on all the information that I gathered today and from via other experiences, integrate the aspect of you that is being reflected in this other person that is abusing you. I say, quote, they are abusing you, but at the same time, it's weird. Like, you're not going to get it until you get it. It's one of those things you're not going to get until you get it. Because in reality, the real person who's abusing themselves is the person who keeps themselves in abusive relationships. But not saying it's your fault, but it's just like, at the end of the day, you're putting yourself in that situation. Not saying it's your fault. It's not your fault. Have that clear. I don't want this to be like me saying it's your fault, because I know what it's like to be putting yourself in a position constantly where you put yourself in a position and you know that that's not a safe position to be in, and for some reason your dumbass just puts yourself in that position because you're so caught up in your anxiety and your fear and your thoughts and this and that and the stories that you're not even thinking clearly, and you keep putting yourself in the same thing because your flight or flight brain is on flight or flight mode and it's looking for safety, and safety is the definition of whatever you think safety is, but it's not really safety, but safety is not really the safety that you're looking for. I don't know, it's a trippy concept that I thought about today. I was like, damn. So safety for me could be letting someone abuse me because that's what I'm used to, and that's just what I know. And just thinking of the possibility of someone loving me and not abusing me is scary, because I feel like I have to prepare for the worst. And I'm not saying like right now, this is just kind of like a thought, you can just, this is like a radio station right now. It's just a thought, but it's not actually safety. So yeah, the second part is obviously integrate that part of you that's angry or whatever that person's reflecting in you. Come on, you gotta start realizing where you are also playing into the role, because it's a role. Roles are being played throughout the scenes. So as you start developing that sense of awareness of the roles and what they're meaning in the story, and what's the main idea in the story, who's the antagonist, is there an antagonist, should there be an antagonist, is there really an antagonist? And that's a deep question that you gotta ask yourself, because that's what I was tripping on today. I was like, holy fuck. So yeah, that's just a whole other story. Let me continue with the topic, because I don't want to get carried away, and I'm already gonna run out of time. But so those are two for now. And oh yeah, well, this one I think a lot of people hear it. It's just starting to love yourself. It's the same thing as validating yourself. You are your essence. Value it. You. When you make a mistake, forgive yourself. Loving yourself, now that's a whole other video. That's a whole other video, I gotta tell you. So this is just for toxic relationships. Oh, I almost forgot. Abandonment wounds. Abandonment wounds. Address your abandonment wounds, because that is what's could possibly be keeping you in a toxic relationship too. It's just that fear of abandonment, because for whatever reason you think it's your fault that you got abandoned as a kid or whatever. You know, address those. Address that. I don't mean to sound like all crazy, but it's just something I had to say. I had to say this. One key role I want to tell you: be ruthless with your self-love. Be ruthless with yourself, with your ability to validate yourself. Be ruthless. And when I say that, I mean be ruthless. Like, even with the part of yourself that you feel it's I just can't stand it. Like, why can't I just do this? Why can't I just fix this? That you be compassionate with that, and that's gonna be like the holy grail for you. I promise you. If you're doing it right, as in you're letting it show you what it needs to show you, you gotta be receptive to it. You gotta open your heart to it, and it's gonna start showing you where you need to heal and where you need to grow, where you need to integrate. And as you start paying attention to the little clicks, the little feelings, they're gonna get, and you start being present with them, it starts, I guess, integrating, and that is your vibration. You're changing your vibration. You're transmuting that negative signature of that relationship, that constant negative feeling that you're feeling, or plural feelings, the opposite. Start doing the opposite. Make it feel like the opposite, and don't settle for less than the opposite. But also hone your intuition. 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 And renew your self-trust, your trust with yourself. Why? Because a lot of people are gonna, if you have low self-esteem, you can be easily tricked into doing things, especially by marketing and a bunch of stuff in life. So it's important to trust yourself and love yourself, know your worth, know your value, so that you're not chasing things for no reason and not getting anywhere at all, not getting true satisfaction, not getting true fulfillment, not feeling like full of life. So that's my take on getting out of a shitty relationship. Even that resentment you feel, you gotta honor that. It's easy to fall into, like, feeling bad for having resentment, but that resentment, that's what's gonna empower you. That anger, it's gonna empower you. It's gonna move you up, and it's gonna teach you something. I don't know what. Shit, I'm not you. That's your job. You gotta figure out what this anger is teaching me. This resentment. Let's embrace this. How can I embrace this? How can I have compassion for myself in this, I promise you that shit's powerful. You're gonna be like, damn, you know what? I knew I deserved better. Go through the process, Condemn that person. Write it all down. Take your time with it. Take your time with it. I remember when I had resentment towards him. I still have a little bit, but I'm going to tell you the story in another video of my resentment with my mom and how I dealt with that. Dude, I was so pissed. I would punch walls and I would kick the door. Hi-ya! Like, I was like crazy. And I was going to kill her. But I was like, I'm going to kill her, And I wasn't kidding. But that was just, I was feeling like that, okay? I'm not saying I'm gonna do it or any of that. I don't want to get sued. But I was very pissed, okay? So I always like to be pissed for years and not knowing why you're pissed. And knowing why you're pissed, but feeling like that's your identity now. Because you don't know what else to do with all these emotions and all you're like confused. So, yeah. Well, thanks for watching and I hope this helped. I'm gonna drink my tea now.